John Anik here with an ESPN.com MMA Live exclusive. As you can see, we are joined by the Strikeforce heavyweight champion and the K1 Grand Prix 2010 champion, Alistair Overeem. Good to have you here in Bristol, man.
Good to be here. Thanks.
All right, so, well, it's good to see you. A lot to get to with the champ, the Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix getting underway this weekend. Now, as the champion, what was your reaction when you first heard that this was the way Strikeforce was going to proceed with its heavyweights?
Well, I was very motivated. Scott came to me at the Dream when I won the Dream belt. That was 31 December. Came backstage and he came with the idea of doing a Grand Prix, 8 best fighters in the world. Immediately I was very excited, and yeah, the fact that I wanted to fight more in the States just fell into play.
Now, as the champion, what about the fact that your belt isn't going to be on the line? Is that the way it should be?
Well, I think that Scott is planning to do it like the K1 model. So K1 has a separate title and the K1 Grand Prix title. So the title, the Grand Prix winner has to fight square off against the title holder, and then the winner of that obviously has both titles.
All right, well, you got to wait till April 9th to fight, but the action begins this Saturday night in New Jersey. Fedor Emelianenko against Antonio Silva. How realistic is it that Bigfoot would pull off an upset here?
Well, I think it is realistic. Fedor has lost his last fight. Silva didn't perform that well in his last fight too, although he did win it. It's going to be, I think they're both going to be very motivated. Silva is a big guy, strong guy. Fedor is the man of the surprises. I would give it a 60-40 for Fedor.
All right, well, if Fedor Emelianenko takes care of business this weekend and you do the same on April 9th, that would set up a semifinal between the champion Overeem and Fedor Emelianenko. How important would it be for Strikeforce to have that fight come to fruition?
Well, I think very important. In my opinion, it's one of the biggest fights at the moment that's waiting to happen. So I think the fans will love to see it. I want to make it happen. And in the tournament, you know, it's like a pyramid. You're going to face off each other. So I think it's great he's participating. And anyhow, I want to make it happen. And
that fight could end up as the first Strikeforce pay-per-view. You never know. Well, Fedor has requested, though, now if you guys fight, that you undergo a third-party administered drug test prior to the fight. What was your reaction when you heard about that request from M1 Global?
Well, I have not heard about it yet, actually.
Okay, well, you're hearing it here for the first time. Any reaction to Fedor and his camp potentially making that request?
Well, I'm going to do whatever the Strikeforce requires me to do in the Athletic State Commission, as I've always done. I always complied with all the rules and regulations, and there's been no problem. So.
All right, well, the first order of business, obviously, is Fabricio Verdum. He submitted you back in 2006. What will be different this time around?
Well, there's going to be a lot of difference. I've grown much as a fighter, but so has Fabricio. He's got more experience, more wins. He's fought notable opponents, including Fedor last June, which he beat in 1 minute in the triangle choke, which was an amazing upset. But so have I. I mean, I won the K1 championship. My striking has improved greatly. I think it's going to be a great fight. I promise the fans I will not let you down.
All right, well, you haven't lost a fight since 2007. Your last 9 have all ended in the first round. If this thing with Verdum does creep into a third round, how confident are you in your cardio that you can hold up if this goes the full 15 minutes?
It's not going to go the full 50 minutes.
That's a good way to put it.
In the first round, as all my other fights, all my other last 9 fights.
All right, well, your fight April 9th against Verdum could end up in Japan. We know about your star power over there. I think a lot of us want to see you fight here in the United States. If you had a preference, would your quarterfinal fight take place here stateside?
Yes, definitely. I already proved myself in Japan. K1 champion, Dream champion. I already was planning on fighting more in the States, and actually I already was planning to do that last year. Last year after I beat Brad Rogers, I challenged the winner between Fedor and Verdum. Verdum won that fight, but he was injured. Fedor declined to fight me, so then I stepped off to Japan to fight in the K1. But I'm back, and I'm here to stay. I want to fight more in the States, and this opportunity this tournament gives me a great opportunity to do that.
What is the overall state of mixed martial arts in Japan? Sometimes we hear about fighters not being paid. How dire is it over there, or is it not so bad?
Well, I won the K1, and it is.
And they paid you?
They have not paid me yet.
Okay.
By the contract, they have to pay me. They have 48 hours to pay me.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a question mark.
All right, well, hopefully you do see that money. Got to ask you, what about the fans that are just dying to see you in the UFC? What would you say to them?
Well, I can be short about that. I'm happy with Strikeforce. They've always treated me very well. They've given me the freedom to fight in Japan, which made me able to get the K1 title and the Dream title. Going back to the K1 title, that on itself is a big achievement. No other fighter came close, and I think no other fighter will even get both titles, a major MMA title and the K1 title. So if I were to be at the UFC, that would not even be possible.
Right.
So I like to be a very active fighter. Strikeforce gives me the opportunity. That's basically it.
So as one of the most decorated combat sports athletes that we've ever seen, is it your aspiration to continue to kickbox and do the MMA, or is one going to be your focus going forward?
Well, my preference is MMA, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with K1. Situation is a little bit unstable at the moment, but just going to have to wait and see.
All right, you've mentioned the roster here, the 8 heavyweights that are going to take part in the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix. Who is the best heavyweight in the world not under the Strikeforce banner?
Well, that's easy. Cain Velasquez, UFC champion. Velasquez? Yeah, he's the #1 heavyweight.
And do you think of all the heavyweights outside Strikeforce that's the toughest fight for you, Cain Velasquez?
Well, I would say yes. Yes.
A couple more for Alistair Overeem, the Strikeforce heavyweight champion. If you could fight any non-Strikeforce heavyweight, would Cain Velasquez be the guy?
It would be 2 guys, Cain Velasquez 1, and #2, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. I think a lot of people would line up, come out in droves to see that one. 2 more for you. Light heavyweight championship, Fei Zhao against Dan Henderson coming up on March 5th. Who will emerge as the Strikeforce light heavyweight champ?
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Okay. Well, maybe this one's better. Shogun Rua, John Jones. We know you fought Shogun twice. The Vegas line has Johnny Bones as a 2-1 favorite. Does he beat Shogun Rua and become the light heavyweight champ for the UFC?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Shogun has been through a lot, seen a lot. Is a very clever fighter, but so is John Jones. Not to take anything away from him. John Jones, in my opinion, is a little bit more athletic. But I think Shogun, he's a clever guy, strategic guy, good stand-up, good ground, aggressive. He's going to put pressure. And I think he's going to get John Jones.
All right, Strikeforce heavyweight champ Alistair Overeem fights Fabricio Verdum April 9th. He will also be cage side this weekend for the tournament kickoff in New Jersey. Champ, thank you for being here. Good luck April 9th.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.